You are trying to figure out if you should buy the SK Hynix debut tomorrow, July 10th on the Nasdaq. This is the video for you. I'm going to talk about a buy case versus a trap case. Is this a good investment or not? I'm going to give you the couple of scenarios there. We're also going to talk about the fact of different opening scenarios and what we could see play out. And ultimately, should you try to get in tomorrow or not? All of that in reference to, is this a good opportunity? That's what we're going to be discussing. I'm going to jump into and to both of those different charts that I just showed you, those infographics, a lot of stuff. So if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, because look, I am building here on this channel a AI memory channel, a community, talk about Micron, now SK Hynix, now that we as United States investors can get into it, all that kind of stuff. So if that interests you, subscribe, hit that button, please, and hit that like button as well. It shows me you like what I'm doing for you. Okay, so SK Hynix tomorrow debuts on the Nasdaq. Okay, so let's take a look at this. All right, so a couple of key things you need to know. The offering is going to consist of 177.9 million ADRs, aiming to raise up to $28 billion. Second largest share sell in history, trailing only SpaceX massive flotation. This is big, okay? Could become the largest ADR offering ever, surpassing Alibaba's back in 2014. So you are going to receive at a ratio of 10 ADRs to one underlying Korea exchange share. Okay, so basically it's going to be priced at a lower price than what SK Hynix shares trade at on the Kospi. And we're going to talk about that. Okay, so right now on this left side, let me zoom in on that just a little bit for you so you can see that right here on this far left side. We've got some different opening scenarios. Also, before I show you that, there's one thing I wanted to show you right here. Talks about, okay, I can't, where was that? That it's going to basically be 7 times, there it is, I apologize. It's on this infographic. I knew it was somewhere. Demand is 7 times what the amount of supply is going to be. Yeah, that's how big this thing is going to be. So you've got opening price scenarios, weak open, base, strong. These are just approximations. These are not written in stone. This is basically what AI is telling me it's going to go out at. So we could see it open a little bit different, but kind of we're basically seeing probably about that $150 range. And by the way, I think that this is low. Okay, so right now, today, Thursday, we don't have a bad day playing out in the market. The overall crypto and crypto and stock markets are doing well today, but obviously AI, like Micron, is up 7+% today, all that kind of stuff. Week open 145 to 149. You can see it 150, 158. I think it's going to open and go up because demand is 7 times. It's oversubscribed. Okay. Remember that SK Hynix is the world leader in HBM memory, high bandwidth memory. They own approximately 60% of the entire HBM market globally. Okay. This is huge. I am going to be trying to buy this. Not expecting it to get it tomorrow because I think it's going to come out. We could see a couple of things. We could see rotation coming at people selling their Micron stock to try to get into this. But I have a situation. I think it's going to be really, really hard to buy tomorrow. And I'll probably be looking at trying to pick it up the following week. But I think we're going to see it go up dramatically. So what happens after the open? Bullish opens near 155, trades above 160. Very bullish, goes up above 160. Dips briefly, buyers higher, step in, push it higher. All that kind of stuff. Anytime you have a debut on these kind of things, there's always that risk, right, of what's it going to look like. I think that this infographic is a little bit too conservative, and I'm going to really focus you on that 7x oversubscribe scenario. You have to remember there is so much pent-up demand, 7x oversubscribed. There's 7x the amount of shares wanted to buy than the amount of supply. That's huge. When you have that much pent-up demand, I think it's going to push that price higher. Okay. Now, if we get any type of a blip tomorrow, kind of, like it's a bad day on the Nasdaq or whatever, I don't really think that's the case because, guys, all eyes are on this. Remember, Micron is the only real, true, pure play AI memory stock that we here in the United States can buy. And obviously it's done very, very, very well. I think that SK Hynix is going to come out and just crush it and go up dramatically. Okay. I really do think that. So I think these are extremely conservative here. as far as what we're seeing in these numbers, kind of the intraday range on the right side, closing price above 160. I think we're going to be above that. I really do, because of that over demand scenario. Okay. So kind of real quickly finishing up, again, at the very bottom, key takeaways from this particular graphic, and then we're going to jump over this one. Is it a buy or is it a trap? We're going to talk about that. Okay. Again, exceptionally strong demand, 7X suggests a very positive start. A lot of volatility, a lot of churn, a lot of transactions, a lot of buying and selling. Again, SK Hynix we all know, is critical to the entire AI boom. 60% of the HBM market, approximately. The number is actually 58 to 62%. So I just cut it 60%, all that kind of stuff. Institutions are going to be buying it. AI-focused funds will likely support the stock early. Remember, it's not just a retail play. There's going to be, AI funds buying in, all that kind of stuff. And I'll do like this right at the bottom. First hour of trading is going to set the tone right here where my mouse is. Okay, that's what we're seeing. All right, so let's shift now and talk about, look, is this a buy or is this a trap? That's really what we're interested in, right? Okay, so look, SK Hynix is up 700% in the last year. It goes live here in the United States, 7X demand. I'm going to keep bringing you to that. Market cap $1 trillion. SK Hynix is looking to raise $28 billion raised via this offering. And remember, I think that, again, this is low. It's 58 to 62% is what the market says, as far as SK Hynix controls the HBM, high bandwidth memory, all that kind of stuff. The buy case, SK Hynix owns most of the HBM memory. I'm going to remind you of the scenario for AI memory. Demand is way higher than supply. All of these companies, SK Hynix, Micron, what are they doing? They're locking up long-term strategic customer agreements. Both companies have done that, okay, that are worth billions and billions of dollars. And both companies are in the process of building fabrication facilities to meet demand. Those fab facilities do not come online until 27, 28, beyond. And this talks about right here that memory on the trap side, memory is deeply cyclical. It is not. Okay, that is wrong. We constantly see that coming into play, and AI still has that in their kind of rhetoric. Memory is becoming less cyclical in nature because of those strategic customer agreements, number one, and because we have a 3+ year runway of where SK and Micron and Samsung are controlling that memory, the memory fabrication, and they're controlling how and when they ship those chips. So that and thus the revenue recognition associated with shipping on their time frame. Okay. So again, buy case, owns most of the HBM memory. 2026 supply is already sold out. So what does it mean? Higher demand versus supply equals higher prices. All companies have been raising their prices. SK Hynix, Micron, Samsung, all that's in which equals higher prices equals higher earnings, higher profits, obviously driving to higher price shares. This is the first direct U.S. access, biggest debut since SpaceX, massive. Okay, that's the buy case. And there's probably other variables. Drop in the comments below if you want to add anything, if you feel like, hey, I missed something or what have you. The trap case, if you want to look at both sides, I do believe in knowing and looking at both cases. Some would say, because it's already up 700%, good news is priced in. Okay. The same thing can be said for Micron. And Micron's price targets right now are what? North of I think the latest one I've seen is $2,200. That's kind of the biggest one. And Micron's trading at what? Approximately around $1,000 right now. That's what it's trading at. So you can kind of say, look, is there more opportunity? Absolutely. I think that SK Hynix, again, HBM leader, all that kind of stuff. I'm not too worried the fact that it's up 700%. Look, guys, every AI stock out there, SanDisk is up 4,500% in the last year. Okay. Third variable here, heavy reliance on NVIDIA demand. I actually looked this one up because I wanted to, and there was something interesting about that. Heavy reliance on NVIDIA demand. Yes, NVIDIA accounts for quite a bit of SK Hynix because they buy their HBM. It's a large percentage, but again, I'm going to remind you of supply versus demand. Those deals are already done for future chip allocations. NVIDIA is not going anywhere. They're not going to not buy or not honor those those agreements they have in place for SK Hynix. And SK Hynix does supply the other guys out there as well. Okay, so they're not just solely relying on NVIDIA. And again, the bottom one is true. Valuation leaves little margin. To an extent, that's true. But I think we're talking about a scenario here, my opinion, where when you're talking about Micron and SK Hynix and all that kind of stuff, you have to look at it almost through a little bit of a different lens. And I know, yes, it comes down to forward P&E and all that kind of stuff. And I'm agreeing with all that, right? But you also have to remember that we are in a very, very unique world where we have massive CapEx expenditures that are going to go north of $5+ trillion by 2030. Those are CapEx dollars that have already been allocated. They're already out there. Wall Street likes to spook everybody by saying, oh, my CapEx dollars are going to suddenly dry up. No, they're not. These are CapEx dollars being spent by hyperscalers who are viewing this as an arms race to put in all this infrastructure to ultimately provide downstream AI services to retail customers, business customers. You know, you have the next wave of agentic AI coming and all, AI agents running everywhere and so forth and so on. You have all these different things at play, and it ultimately comes back to the components that go into that AI data centers, stack, right? Chips, NVIDIA, Broadcom, AMD, memory, Micron, SK Hynix, Samsung. Those are the big three. That's it. Okay. They control 90% of the entire AI memory space. The CapEx dollars are not going to dry up and go away. They're not. So is this a buy or a trap? My opinion, I'm going to wait to see how it plays out on Friday. I'm going to wait to see how all this goes down. And then I'm going to look at it and I'm going to look at buying some most likely the following week. Okay. I'm not going to try to get on the day one rush because again, we got a 7x oversubscribed demand scenario, 7 times demand as far as how many shares are wanted versus what is going to be available. All right. And I think that that's going to be extremely interesting to watch. Tons of volatility tomorrow. I'm waiting probably for the following week. And I realize that I might, have to pay a little bit of premium the following week, but I'm okay with that because I want to see how the volatility plays out. Now I might put an order in on my Robinhood account and just see if I get some. Okay. But I don't want to be caught and become someone else's exit liquidity because we could have a lot of churn day one. We could have a lot of people who got in early and boom, then they're going to sell immediately and see. So we have volatility. We could see a run up and then a run back down. I don't think we're going to have a massive rundown because we have the underlying, entire AI memory case scenario. Well, also, what about SpaceX? Completely different situation. That valuation was so insanely high and SpaceX went up and now it's come back down, right? It's a different, they're not, it's comparing apples to oranges, right? So if you drop in, that's not the same thing. So I think that the buy case here is very, very solid for buying SK Hynix on a go forward basis. I'm going to wait and see how it kind of plays out and go from there. All right. So, hey, before I let you go, if you're interested, I showed you this chart earlier. This is Micron's chart. I want to show you this. This is a buy alert and that's a sell alert. This is my trading indicator, my software that I spent $30,000 building a couple of years ago. It runs amazing. It runs on your iPhone. It runs on Android. I'll show you the prices here. There's a link in the description below. I'll even pin a comment down there as well. Pin comment. Basically, the software costs about $1 a day to use. And here's what it does. So what it does is it sits on your iPhone or your Android or computer. You can run it in multiple locations, and it gives you these buy and sell alerts. And by the way, you can set it where it actually sends you an alert. You don't have to actively watch the chart or anything like that. It sends you an alert for any stock you want. So let's say you want an alert for SK Hynix. Tell me when to buy and tell me when to sell. It'll do that. It'll actually send you an alert. And you're like, oh, got an alert. Boom. I need to go to Robinhood. I need to go buy me some SK Hynix or sell or what have you. So this is how it works. This is a buy alert to a sell alert. And you can see this blue box right here, 91 days. Micron went up 240 days. And look how the software said buy here. There were other sell alerts, buy and sell alerts along the way. But in that period, the software told you when to buy and when to sell to give you a 242% profit. To put that in perspective, $1,000 of Micron bought here and then sold and bought again along the way over those 91 days would have made you 242% in profit. $1,000 bought would have made you $2,422 in profit plus your 1,000 back, right? Basically $2,400. What could you have done different in your life with an additional $2,400 in your trading account or in your pocket in 90 days? That's just one example of Micron. Okay. That's how it works. That's live. You're seeing it work right there. Okay. So let me tell you the deal. There's a link down there. You can buy the monthly or the quarterly. It's up to you. It's about $1.10 a day to use it. There's a 30-day, no questions asked refund guarantee. You try it, 30 days, you don't like it, you cancel, you ask for a refund, you get it instantly back. So you've lost zero, nothing. You've lost nothing here, okay? In the members area, there's a private community, a chat community where everybody gets in there and talks, shares trades, shares ideas. There's also live coaching every week in the members community. There's coaches in there that are helping people every day, and there's live coaching weekly. All this for about $1 a day, okay? You spend more than $1 a day on this right here. You do. I mean, you do. You spend more than $1 a day on that. I mean, that's like $250. I don't even know how much that is. Why not try this? You have zero risk in this equation. You try it. You have 30 days. If you don't like it, you get an instant refund. So you've lost nothing and you tried something different. Because again, if you're trying to figure out how to make more money in stocks, this is a way to do it. And I'm asking you for $1 a day. And I'm giving you a 30-day, no questions asked refund guarantee. So you have zero risk in this, period. Okay. So give it a look. Links are down there. Boom, right down there. It'll take you to this page. Pick the plan that works for you. You want to try the monthly? Fine, cool. Okay. Use the discount code down there because you use that discount code, the prices are cheaper than you see on the screen here. Okay. It basically takes you to that $1.10 a day. All right. That's what you get. So look, give it a try right down there. I'll see you. Go make some money. Take care. Bye.